Hello, my name's Paddy Considine and I play Dr. Mann, also referred to as Zookeeper in the film Wolf. It's about children who identify as animals, they're quite free-spirited in that way. And I thought that aspect of it was interesting because the character I play is somebody that's trying to free them from that. Like Dr. Mann has these sort of ideas and ideologies and methods really, where he's trying to get the children to not identify so much with the animal and more so with the human soul. So it calls to mind the questions about who we are really and what we choose to be. And that idea of containment and sort of having to contain your true self. I thought Dr. Mann was very... You could definitely play the guy as a one-note guy all the way through, and I didn't see that at all. I saw a really complex man. I saw a man who really believed in what he was doing and believed that what he was doing was good. And it was all anchored in somebody that he knew from his past that I identified to be somebody that he fell in love with, who'd had this same condition, this species identity disorder, and it had led to their self-destruction and ultimately their suicide. And that's why Dr. Mann starts this establishment called True You. That's the motivation for it. So I think there's some tragedy in Dr. Mann's past that's motivating him. The problem is that he's quite egotistical and narcissistic, and his methods are sometimes very, very extreme. His methods, range from therapy and almost, meditation in identifying with the self to shock therapy, where he gets the children to confront and behave like the animals that they are identifying with. And they're sometimes quite cruel and destructive. But he thinks that fear works. So while on one hand is this ideology of like consciousness and, meditation and the self, there's also this flip side to that that's quite cruel. She's managed to balance what she needs within the shot, but also having a great communication with the actors as well. And I'm sort of very mistrustful to begin with of people. And it's not until you start the working relationship and you start to get a few notes and ideas that you go, oh, okay, this person knows what they're talking about. And a vision for the film has been very, very clear, but also what the gift that she has as well is that she sees the moment, and that's a really important thing in my opinion if for a filmmaker. She sees the moment, she sees when things aren't working as well, and she's not afraid to push you even further in a scene, or if something isn't working, flip it and try something. And I enjoy that exploration. I like being challenged in that way. So it's been fantastic working with her. I think she's an exciting filmmaker. George is one of the, and I don't say this disparagingly, this word, but he's one of the nicest people that I've ever met, and one of the most hard-working people I've ever met. He's a good guy. His commitment's been fantastic to it. And I can only say that he's been an absolute pleasure to work with. Real pleasure. Yeah, I just think he's one of those people that's just very, very honest, very, very hard working and committed to the cause, and it's such a fantastic thing to see. It's so nice to have such a cast where everybody's just spot on. It happens every now and again. The last time I think was Pride, and George was on there. This has been the same, and I think all the actors that played the animals too, very committed, and brilliant. The first time I saw them all in the room, I knew exactly who was who, just by looking at them, and that's testament to the casting and also the costume. it's a very interesting script. It's a fantastic cast and made by a really great director. And I just hope people find some connection with it on some level. But it's just so difficult to predict what that is. But I think it's going to be a really interesting film, and I really hope it does something and people do see it.